Hey everybody, welcome back to our summer serendipity videos. I am here with our next book, and this week we are going to read this book called Just Ask. Be different, be brave, be you. This is another one of my favorite books. It is written by a woman named Sonia Sotomayor, and she is actually a judge on the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the United States. And she grew up in New York, and this is a book a little bit about her life when she was younger, but it's also about lots of different people and all the ways that some of the ways that we can be different from one another. And so I want to read this book to you, and then I have a fun activity for you to do after. You will need a piece of paper, some scissors, some tape, and something to color with, either markers, crayons, colored pencils, or even just a pencil if you don't want to use color. So here's the book, Just Ask, Be Different, Be Brave, Be You. And it actually starts out with a letter to the readers from Sonia Sotomayor. So this page right here says, a letter to readers. I was born on June 25th, 1954, and in 1961, when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes. To take care of myself, I had to do things other kids did not. Sometimes I felt different. When kids saw me giving myself a needle shot of insulin, my medicine, I knew they were curious about what I was doing, but they never asked me, my parents, or my teachers about it. I also often felt that they thought I was doing something wrong. As I grew older, I realized that there are many ways to be, that I was not alone in feeling different. I wanted to write this book to explain how differences make us stronger in a good way. Like my experiences with diabetes, the challenges some kids face can be hard and sometimes frustrating. Some of us have conditions that require medicine or tools to manage that other kids have never dealt with. Some of our difficulties, are not even visible to others, but they make us feel different, and we may do things that others don't understand. Yet all of these challenges often give us strength that others can't imagine. I hope by seeing yourself or your friends in this story, you will understand that we are all different, and you will find that notion comforting and empowering. I hope that you will recognize what we have in common. Instead of fearing our differences or ignoring them, we can shed light on them and explore them together. If you ever wonder why someone is doing something different from other kids, just ask. And it's signed by Sonia Sotomayor. Here we go. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight. Others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry, and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you are curious about other kids, just ask. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes, and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all my courage to be healthy. Did you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? I do. My name is Raphael, and I have asthma, which means sometimes I have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and use an inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is like a tool I use to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get from place to place? My name is Madison, and my guide dog, Lucky, helps me get places safely because I am blind. My friend Otoro is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? I'm Vijay. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? I'm Bianca, and I have dyslexia, so I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I'm very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate Tiana also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is An, and I speak with a stutter, so I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I am not paying attention or I'm just acting out. But it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me, but it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me, if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. What's helpful to you? I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it's nut-free because I am allergic to nuts. They can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even by accident. So I always tell people about my allergy and ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. How do you use your voice? I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies, but we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? It's me, Sonia, again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers, and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and more fun. And just like all of these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers? That was the end of that story. I just love this book. It's so good. I love reading about some of the ways, it's not even all the ways, but just some of the ways that people can be different from each other and how those differences are really what makes this world such an awesome place. So today for your activity, like I said, you are going to need a piece of paper. And you can choose to do this activity a couple different ways. So the first thing is you can draw a picture of you and what is unique or different about you. So one of the things that's different about me that is not the same as everybody else is that I have lots of freckles. I think it's a little bit difficult to see, but you can see on my body there's lots of dots all over my skin, and those are called freckles. So I drew a picture of myself, and I added lots of freckles because that's one thing that makes me different from some other people. So you can choose to draw a picture like this of yourself and something that makes you different. I am not the greatest artist, so this is not the best picture ever, but I think that came out pretty good. The other thing you can choose to do with your scissors and tape is to draw pictures of people. So I drew two different pictures right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut them apart. And then I'm also going to cut this into pieces. So you can see right here, I left a small space between the legs and the body, and I left some space between the head and the chest. So I'm actually going to cut off this into 3 pieces. So I'm going to cut her head off, and then I'm going to cut her legs and her body apart. And I'm going to do the same thing with my other picture. I'm going to cut this into 3 pieces. And then you can switch up all of the pieces and trade them, and you can tape your person back together. So this could be fun with just drawing 2 people, or if you have a sibling at home, maybe you could draw one picture and your brother or sister could draw another picture, and then you can match your people up. So I'm gonna add this head that I had on my first person with the body from the second person, and then I think I will add back his pants, and we can take our unique people and make them even more different by changing them all around. So like I said, it would be kind of fun if you had a sibling at home, or you could even ask your parents to help you. And if you have each person draw a picture of a person, just making sure that you leave a little bit of space between the head and the body, and then the body and the legs, so that you can cut them apart. You could switch them all around. You could even do it on a table and not tape them together and just switch them back and forth, and then find your favorite unique person and tape the final pieces together. I hope you enjoyed our book, and I hope you have fun with this activity, and we'll be back next week with another book about inclusion and tolerance. Have a great week.